Hey, it's me to the BTGP Valencia review and all things in between. I know. Don't say nothing. It's been a while. Anyway, listen, I love Valencia so much so that's why this is late coming in. But I really do. It's one of my favorite GPs. I think it's end of the year, and it's so much so that I think when I die, hopefully it won't be for a while, I'm gonna in my will, so I get cremated, and I want them to sprinkle my ashes around the track. I really do. I don't know if that sounds morbid, but I don't care. I mean, because I'm happy there. I'm my happiest in Valencia in November. I'm in Spain. I love Spain. I love that track end of the year. So all my ashes sprinkled around the track in Valencia. Hopefully they'll do it. And if you guys are watching and I die, please somebody step in and make sure they burn me. Make sure I'm dead. And then have them sprinkle my ashes around Valencia. That's what I want. Anyway, let's get right to it. Listen, Moto 3, it's almost like a graduation ceremony in Valencia because it's end of the year, and after every race, they pop off the fireworks. So it's like a graduation. It's like, especially for Moto 3 riders, like, okay, you graduated to Moto 2. Congratulations. And you're writing their yearbook, don't change. No, Sasaki, change. He finally won the race, but it's too much, too little, too late. He was aggressive when he had to be aggressive, but it's too late now. It's like that chick in high school you always liked, and then she tells you like 20 years later, you know what? I've always liked you, and you're like, are you fucking serious? Now she's got 3 kids, and she's happily married. She goes, you know what? I used to always like you in high school. Like, why didn't you say something? Well, I didn't think you liked me. Are you serious? I have a catalog of pictures of me and you all cut out as a couple, and you didn't think like a hostage ransom note. And you didn't think I liked you? Anyway, so props to Sasaki for when he rider of the race. And heartbreak goes to Colin Vierge, who crashed on a siding lap. How does that happen? Anyway, heartbreak to him, but Sasaki finally won. I love how people are looking at Sasaki as the people's champ because they were mad at Jamie Masia. But anyway, all's fair in love and trying to get a championship. So anyway, Moto 2, I really thought Pedro Acosta and Fermin Aldeguer were going to have a battle for the ages, but I think Pedro was already thinking like MotoGP. He was like that, when your girlfriend goes, you know what, we should see other people. And she's already moved in with a new dude. The U-Haul's already packed in the back. And she's telling you we should see other people. I think that's what Pedro was like. He was like, look, I just don't want to get hurt. Whatever, Fermin. I guess I'll see you in 2 years because I'm in MotoGP next year. And I think that's what Pedro was thinking. Anyway, so Fermin Aldeguer, he's my rider of the race because, man, he's been kicking ass for the last month and a half. Props to him. Heartbreak goes to Aaron Canet. Can this guy win a race so we can see what kind of celebration he's going to have? Anyway, MotoGP, listen, rider of the race goes to Pecco Bagnaia. For what Pecco is the champion, and no one talks about Pecco in the first person thing, but it's always like, well, he's on a Ducati, and they all blah, blah, blah. No one talks about how great Pecco is at managing races. Pecco is underrated. He didn't have to win the race, but he did. He's my rider of the race. He won like a champion is supposed to. He won. I think he let Brad Binder by, but he still won the race. That's what champions do. Props to him. And heartbreak, of course, goes to Jorge Martin. What I thought about that race, I think Martin has to still own up for. He has to own up. He has to grow up, I think, a little bit more. He's almost there, but if you saw the post race, he goes, you know what? I'm not saying it was Marquez's fault, but it wasn't mine. That's funny. Like, well, whose fault was it then, Jorge? Own up to it or don't. But I kind of like how Marquez, Bezzecchi, and then the Martinator, Marquez, and all within a lap and a half. You know what I mean? Marquez, Bezzecchi, and then Martinator, Marquez, and made him join the Valencia space program. Either way, and that's what I love about Marquez. I know I'm skipping a little bit. That's what I love about Marquez. Marquez, when he dishes out, he also takes it. You hear him bitching? He never bitches. He goes, you know what? He was going for a championship. I don't blame the dude. That's what he said. I mean, that is straight up Michael Jordan. Marquez is the strongest mental athlete next to Michael Jordan I've ever seen, right? And then also, had arm pump surgery the next day. Never mentioned it, not even once during the year. He never went like, ooh, like not even one, not held his arm or nothing. That shows the champion. He reminds me of Michael Jordan in that documentary. He was like, at the very end when Michael was like, I never asked those guys to do anything I wouldn't do. And if they want to play that way, then fine. Scene. That's what Marquez does. That's why he's a champion. And I think next year, and what he did in testing, first time on that bike and that little when he smiled, when he went like this. Listen, Marquez has always been straight faced. I mean, he's always, think about it. He'd be the best poker player in the world. He wouldn't need glasses. His face is just, he never shows too much emotion. He gives, I mean, he helps out with his team. He always brings the team together. Remember when they screwed him in Australia years ago because they told him to come in a lap too late and he got black flagged? He didn't blame his team. He goes, hey, we all make mistakes. That's why he's the champion. And what he's going to do, I think what he's going to do with Ducati, because Ducati, they all share data. Ducati is like the Mormons of MotoGP. They're all like, okay, we're all going to share data. You can see his data today, and you can see his data anytime you want to, because we're all one big family. Let us pray. I mean, seriously, the Ducati are the Mormons of MotoGP. They share everything. Everything? Everything. But it's true. The beast, Naya Bastianini, said Marquez was fastest through turn 8, and that's his first time on the Ducati. And to me, it looked like he was doing it effortless. He wasn't even pushing. He wasn't even on like a hot lap trying to push. That was just Marquez being Marquez. So I just hope he stays healthy. If they stay healthy, it's going to be him and Pecco. Because if you guys remember, in Aragon a couple years ago when Marquez's arm was like that dead arm, you know, his arm was still messed up, and they battled in Aragon, and Pecco got the best of him. If you watch that post-race presser, you can see Marquez just chomping at the bit. And he basically said, if you read between the lines, he basically said, you beat me because I wasn't right. I still could park up front with the little laminate. He said I could park up front because my arm was like this. That's basically what he said. He goes, but he basically said he beat him because he wasn't right. So, and Pecco's underrated. No one talks about, think about it. The talking point was, can Martin beat Pecco? The talking point was Tuesday, was Marquez and Pedro Acosta. No one ever gives Pecco the credit for being a great MotoGP rider that he is. And it's basically, again, going to be Marquez and Rossi. You got, because you got Marini going over to Honda. And then Johan Mir is kind of like, oh, I get the big boy chair. And he does. I get the big boy chair. And it's good to see Johan Mir smiling again. You never see that anymore. He's smiling again. He's like, the bike's good. I mean, he finally got a good bike, and that's what it is. Marquez left, and Honda finally made the improvements that Marquez wanted, but I don't think they're going to be competitive. But props to Johan Mir. He's smiling for the first time in about 2 years, and he's a champion. He's a world champion. He's finally smiling again, so good for him. I think it's going to be great. Pedro Acosta, I'm going to talk about Pedro Acosta a little bit. His chief engineer said bloody fucking hell when Pedro Acosta got through. Because as a rookie, just learning the bike, also as a rookie, and what he did in testing, I got him maybe getting top 5s. And that's just me. I mean, the field is stacked, but who knows? I mean, I think it's going to be the greatest MotoGP season ever. That's the great thing about MotoGP, is even with the season you're watching is great, the anticipation of the next season is even greater. And that's the only sport that I see that's like that. NBA is good, but nothing compares to MotoGP for the off season. I don't even think Formula One, maybe, but MotoGP is the greatest sport there is. Anyway, again, like I said, and real quick, I'm gonna do the MotoGP awards, my style. Greatest innovation goes to Dorna. We give Dorna shit for not being consistent on their penalties. Hey, the sprint race is the greatest invention that Dorna's done in a while, besides the everybody using the same electronics. Props to Dorna with the sprint race. All right, the best idea, Dorna. The best pass goes to Martin Nader on Fabio in the India GP. I would say the Thai GP with Pecco going the outside, but he didn't make the pass. I mean, the pass didn't stick. The best cameo goes to Danny Pedrosa. The old man gets off the couch and he schools those young whippersnappers with a 4th place in Mazzano. He probably could have got 3rd, but he wasn't racing. He didn't want to ruin Pecco's day. Damn. Danny Pedrosa, 55 years old, and he's schooling them kids. It was like your dad getting off the couch and busting a triple-double off in that ass. Anyway, fuck you, goes to Marquez at the German GP when he flipped his own bike off. And he loves his bike, he loves Honda, but he had enough. When he was just sitting there like this, like, oh, woe is me, like droopy dog, like, oh, father, the shame. Remember, right after he had crashed and he had enough and he flipped his bike off? That goes to Marc Marquez. That was I'm Sick of You. That was the I'm Sick of You award, goes to Marc Marquez. Best race, Phillip Island. That was when Jorge Martin found out, oh, I got to go all the laps instead of almost some of the laps. He got chased down with a 3-4 second lead. Anyway, so yeah, best GP of the year goes to Phillip Island. Phillip Island, if they could just move that race, it could be even better. Anyway, and don't forget who the man is, goes to Pecco Bagnaia. Never gets the credit he deserves. Anyway, that's my award. Also, the always a bridesmaid, never a bride goes to Brad Bender. Brad Bender got 5 podiums, never the top step. 5 podiums, never the top step. Brad Bender is almost there. It's like, you know what? It's not me, it's you. And he goes, oh, come on. Why don't you just marry me so I can be happy? That's Brad Bender. Anyway, that's me for the MotoGP season. Hey, thank you guys for watching. I guess I'll talk to you guys in March. That's a long time. But anyway, get some sleep on the weekends now, guys. Hey, there's nothing else to watch. There's no other sports we want to watch. Anyway, enjoy the winter. Happy holidays to all you guys. Thanks for watching. Thanks for the criticism, the comments. Hit me up now on tell me what you think of this. Anyway, that's pretty much it. Thank you guys again. You know the word. Bye.